Hey, Phantomaniacs, welcome to the newest unboxing here on the Needless Things YouTube channel. Today we are taking a look at the ridiculously large, as you can tell from the fact that it doesn't even fit in the frame, McFarlane Gold Label Collection Batman, based on Todd McFarlane's artwork from Batman Year 2, which if you have not read it, it's great. Written by Mike W. Barr. First issue was illustrated by Alan Davis, and then Todd McFarlane took over in the second issue. But you can see right there, that looks familiar, right? So this is a great story, and actually very similar. If you've seen Batman Mask of the Phantasm, there are a lot of elements of that animated film that seem to have been taken from Batman Year 2. But this is great. Seek it out at your local comic shop. This was, I read this when I was very, very young, and it definitely formed a lot of who Batman was to me. So there's a lot of sentimentality attached to this story, but also it's one of the first examples I'd seen of Todd McFarlane's artwork back in the day. So the fact that there is a figure directly from this now was very exciting for me, and I'm glad I was able to get my hands on one. This is not the autographed version, which is fine by me because I'm going to open it up anyway. But this thing is massive. Packaging wise, big, giant, beautiful window box. All of McFarlane's DC Multiverse stuff has been very classy. And then on the back, why not throw that artwork on the back rather than just a picture of the figure? Like, wouldn't that have been cool to have that artwork? Like, oh, this is like directly what this is from. But whatever. And you can see up here at the top the Batman Year 2 note. And then cross sell. So good for McFarlane for doing that. All right, let's go ahead and open this thing up because the box, it is a classy box. It does look really nice. The gold label, particularly up here, is eye catching, but it's also a very utilitarian box, which I kind of appreciate. So let's get this thing out of here. I have seen online where these have been breaking. I have seen the arms breaking. I have seen the soft goods cape that is included apparently just falling apart. So I'm definitely concerned about the quality control on this thing. I ordered it online. I don't know if it's going to show up in stores or not. I know there have been two different pre-orders for this item on Target. It is a Target exclusive, I'm pretty sure. So there have been two different pre-orders, and they both sold out relatively quickly. So I don't know if this will show up in stores or not. It's really hard to tell with McFarlane stuff because I know I've been looking for a movie Darkseid, the one with the shirt, since it was announced, and still have not seen it. So I don't know what the deal is there. All right, we can see everything packaged very nicely. We've got the tray here. I'm going to pull that tray. Got some tape to cut through here. Oh wow, we got a whole lot of business going on in the back here to take care of. So let's just slice through all of that. Oh, and by the way, I'm still thoroughly enjoying my little slice device here. Okay, let's get that out. We have got, man, there are a lot of accessories in this thing. Very interesting. I'm curious to see how this all works out. All right, grab our nippers and take care of. Ooh. Oh my gosh, that is an unnecessarily durable piece of plastic holding that in place. Wow. Toy manufacturers, packaging designers, whoever's responsible for this sort of thing, let's calm down with this stuff. Like, all it needs to do is secure this item in place. It is really not necessary for this stuff to be made of steel. Good gosh. All right, there we go. I don't care about the McFarlane trading cards at all, especially when it's a picture of the toy. Like, this makes zero sense to me, but whatever. We'll take it out, put it aside, and then we've got all of our accessories over here. that. Extra hand. Another man. I'm very impressed with all the accessories in this thing. Like I knew this was a kind of involved figure, having the plastic cape and the soft goods cape and the interchangeable parts. But I really don't know that I was expecting this much from this set. Let's get rid of that rubber band and very carefully unfurl our soft goods cape. Because I think what I saw, sometimes it's hard to tell from pictures online. It looked like this piece right here separated from the soft goods part. So I'm going to be very, very careful with it. Well, I'm not going to be too careful because if it's going to fall apart, I want to be able to return it. So we're going to find out now if this thing's durable or not. But I mean, it seems, I guess what it is this plastic piece and this plastic piece became separated. But it looks like they're glued pretty securely. That soft goods cape looks nice. It's sometimes these scalloped capes that they do for Batman when they're soft goods. It's a tough thing to do because look, you can see right here where it's already fraying a little bit. That's not great. And then they curl up at the tips. That Batman's cape is challenging in soft goods, and really only company that's ever nailed it is Mezco, and that's obviously because you're paying a premium for their design, engineering, everything that they do. They charge a premium for. And this figure, what was it? I think it was $40, which is very reasonable as I'm discovering for everything that's included here. But yeah, I'm not crazy about this fraying that I'm seeing around a lot of the scalloped edges. All right, but at least it's not completely just falling apart. And then we've got a couple of arms. We'll take a look at those in a little bit here. Now, let's see how difficult it is to get Batman out of this shell. We've got these two support. Let's just cut right through this tape. I don't want to mess with all this business. Ugh, and it is super sticky tape, but it has not left any residue, so that's what's important. Let's see. Got a giant blue Batarang. This thing is kind of cracking me up. I like this. This is like the biggest, proportionally the largest Batarang I have seen, I think. Let's see. And we'll cut through there. Whatever this piece is. I'm curious to see how this all goes together because there are no instructions to be had anywhere in this thing. So this is going to be a matter of figuring out where the heck everything goes. All right, now let's clip through all of these pieces. And one last one holding those feet in place. It looks like that's all the annoying business packaging-wise. Okay, so this looks a little weird. His head looks like it's not quite secured or in place or whatever. But I mean, this is, I'm going to take a look at this head because I feel like it's not quite where it's supposed to be. But this cape, this sculpt is phenomenal. This is absolutely beautiful. This is, this is McFarlane's stuff. This is his signature stuff. And this is one of the earliest examples of what he does. This is before he was on Spider-Man. This is when he was first getting to sort of utilize his style in major superhero comics. So this cape is historic in a way, which is why I wanted to have this figure. And then underneath, gosh, see, here is where we need some sort of instructions. I don't want to just go yanking because you can see under here he's got a full body for the arms and everything else over here. I don't want to go just yanking that body out of there without knowing how it's connected or attached or whatever. Okay, so that it looks like if you push up a little bit more, you get the head kind of more what it's supposed to look like. He was kind of hanging in there. So you can see this construction seams here of where the cape was assembled, but I don't think as a consumer we're supposed to be taking this apart. I really do feel like the method here is going to be this head pops off and the body comes out, but I'm just very wary of how the heck to do that. Okay, there we go. Okay, goes there. All right, good. So that worked out. We didn't damage anything, and that is immobile. That we're going to set this cape aside. We'll get back to that later, maybe. That peg is immobile. It is a single. You can see where it's fixed in place at the base there. So the whole neck fits onto that. And you can see the gap right here, which is what looks so odd in the packaging. But you'll be able to arrange this, as kind of looking down a little bit like that. That covers that gap up somewhat. And then the piece with his cape will completely cover that. So let's take a look at this body before we start putting everything together. This is a fully articulated McFarlane style DC Multiverse body. And it's interesting to note, first thing that jumped out at me here is he does not have Batman boots. He's got regular flat boot tops, which do they have a point of articulation there? No point of articulation there, which is fine. I don't always find the boot top articulation to be necessary. So let's take a look now at the comic and see if this is accurate, because my instinct is no, but I'm not sure. So let's see what Batman looks like here. Now I'm going to go to one of McFarlane's issues. Well, I will look, since we're here, let's look at Alan Davis. No, see, in the Alan Davis artwork, it has the normal raised, peaked front of the boot. Let's see if we can get a really good shot of that. I, I hope that you guys are finding this as interesting as I am. Normally, I don't do this kind of background or research or anything because I like to just unbox stuff and get my impressions. But in this instance, like I said, this is such a historic release that I really wanted to, have everything sort of at hand to see. Oh, look at that. Look at that wacky. Okay, so you can see right there, he has the peaked boot top in this artwork. And look at this. How McFarlane is that? Like, when do we ever see Batman doing anything like this prior to what year did this come out? 1990 is when this collection came out, so I would imagine this story was originally released in like 88, 89, something like that. So prior to that, when did we ever see Batman doing stuff like this? So look, he's got the super tall ears here. He's got the peaked boots. So yeah, the figure, he does have the capsule style utility belt, which is my favorite kind. I like the capsules. But these boots are not accurate. These should be peaked in the front. What a weird thing to miss, especially on Batman. Like, I feel like you ask anybody, hey, what do Batman's boots look like? And they're going to be like, oh, they've got the little pointy front on them. But anyway, the sculpt on this otherwise is absolutely beautiful. I love that we actually have a sculpted bat symbol here. The symbol itself is sculpted. The oval is sculpted. The rim is sculpted, or the outer edge, all painted. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. I'm glad this is a sculpt and not just painted on. Look at the sort of folds and stuff in his costume. Looks really fantastic. Same thing on his trunks. Just the sculpted detail. This is beautiful. And it actually makes it all the more annoying that these boots are inaccurate, because otherwise he looks so great. He's so perfect for this era of late 80s Batman. Even the colors, like, let's talk about these colors, this gray and this light blue. Again, it's so that era of Batman that honestly hasn't seen a ton of representation in modern action figures. So I'm very happy with this look. Okay, so there's your kind of base for this guy. We've got ugly pens. That grape, that's terrible. Um, gosh, I hate that. So anyway, carefully turn that arm because apparently the arm's breaking has been a problem. This feels pretty sturdy to me. You've got a ratcheting joint right here at the shoulder. Uh, oh, whoops. I've got that turned around the wrong way. Okay, so go that way. I don't know. I can't remember where these were breaking. I don't know if it was here at the bicep joint or here at the shoulder joint. But look at the fins on the gloves, beautiful, the accurate to the era. Okay, so at least that's better. The pin is on the inside, like it's still a hideous visual, but at least on the outside it is, recessed, so you can't see that it's gray. The I'm this one of my biggest issues. My biggest problem with McFarlane's DC Multiverse is the scale, the fact that they're 7-inch figures and they don't go with anything else. I mean, I guess they sort of go with NECA, but I just wish they were a 12th scale or compatible with like Marvel Legends or DC Universe Classics. But whatever. But then the other thing that I don't care for, I don't like that they've adopted the Japanese style for the wrist joints and the ankle joints. These to me don't function as nicely as the sort of standard that we have in Marvel Legends, G.I. Joe Classified. Uh, and these are actually two separate pieces that can come apart. Uh, I don't like this look. I think it breaks up the profile of the figure. That's just personal taste, though. You may love these joints, and that's fine if you do. I'm not a fan of these like sort of ball hinges that they're using on the ankles and wrists. And then there's the toe joint, which is the most pointless joint in the history of action figures. I never need a toe joint ever. All right. So let's see if we can pop this arm in place without completely destroying this figure. You can see the mechanism to pop that in. Pops right into place. Seems okay with me. There's no ratcheting there. Let's see if that double joints the elbow. It's got kind of a mild ratchet on it. So far, we're good to go. Look, he's got the tall ears, just like that. Well, let's look at that portrait real quick. He's got the darkness around the eyes that I think looks great with that light blue mask. The white of the eyes, the strong jaw, the strong lips, a little bit of paint on the lips to bring them out. This is essentially my Batman. So on the other arm here, oh, what? Okay. So what the heck is going on here? Is this pin somehow partially broken? Because on the other side, look, it goes all the way through. That's a little strange. So yeah, so on your left arm, you do have the hideous, ugly gray pin sticking out of the blue glove. Uh, I hate it. I mean, I just hate that. I think it looks terrible. Okay, now let's pop this arm into that socket. That one does not want to go in as easily or at all. Huh. This is interesting. I wonder if this is where people are having issues. Oh, and you can also see um, the sort of cupped swivel right here for the butterfly joints of the arm. That McFarlane does do a really nice job with these shoulder butterfly joints, I think. All right, get in there. Don't break on me. I don't know if I feel like heating this up is going to be the answer, because it's not a matter of. I'm trying to get a good grip on this guy. There we go. Okay. Popped into place. Everything is secure. Um, Moving nicely, no problems. Works well. So far, so good on this guy, except for those horrible pins on the elbows. Okay, so now let us very carefully remove that head again. And you can see you've got two peg holes right there that correspond with that piece. So we're going to carefully line those up and see if they hopefully just slot into place, because there's no reason for this to be a particularly snug fit. It really kind of just needs to sit there and be held in place by the head. But it doesn't seem that that's going to be the case. Boy, that doesn't want to slide home. I've got them lined up. Those do not want to go in there. I don't feel like this should be this difficult because it's an interchangeable piece. We're just going to leave that sitting where it's sitting right now, so we can get a look at this. That I might heat up in a minute to see how much better that can sit in place. But for right now, let's just get that head back in there. I'm not a huge fan of the mixed plastic and soft goods the way this is done, but I can't think of a whole lot of other ways to accomplish this. So, I'll take it. And I gotta say, this is a pretty great looking Batman figure. I don't want to spend the money to get a second one, and I don't even know that that's an option now, because I would imagine I think they're sold out again. And as I said, I don't know that they're going to show up in stores. But I would really like to have one with this soft goods cape and one with the super dramatic plastic cape. I'd like to have both of those displayed. I think that'd be really nice. So, now that head didn't quite pop in, but I think it's because this piece didn't go all the way down. So I'm going to have to heat that up and push it down and get it into place. But I'm pretty confident that's going to work okay. I would like to have two of these. Okay, so apparently I can't say what I just said, or it turns on a certain something on my phone that I absolutely hate. The GOOGLEASSISTANT. I can't even say that. It turns it on and stops the video, which is kind of a pain in the butt. But anyway, let's take a look at the base for this thing. We've got, look at these tombstones. Tim Drake, Barbara Gordon, Martha Wayne, Jason Todd. Interesting. Selena Kyle. Little praying deal over here. And we've got a very McFarlane cross set up there. And this piece hopefully will snap right into place there. There we go. That looks great. And then you've got this thing, which I guess, okay, this is a support. So what I'm guessing is that they know that this is potentially maybe going to sag over time or something. So we've got, there's actually a peg, or excuse me, a peg hole right there. Wow, this is wacky. So okay, that's going to go in there. The support piece is going to go in here. I realize this is a little difficult for you guys to see, but trust me when I tell you it's difficult for me to do, because I can't quite figure out where this is supposed to go. Wow, this is something else. But I appreciate the fact that they've done something to prevent this thing from sagging over time. I'm just not quite sure how it's supposed to go in there. So I am not going to bother with this right now because I can't quite. Again, I might have to heat this thing up, and I'm not trying to tear it apart here, but you can see where this is intended to plug into that little hole right there, and just hold that up, give it support. We're going to leave that alone for right now. Okay, so this is weird too. He's got these hands that look great, look like the appropriate Batman hands. They are not gloves with fingernails, which drives me crazy. That's a thing that a lot of toy companies do. It looks really terrible. But then these gloves, what is this business? That detail does not belong on this Batman. What the heck? So these are going in a bag, never to be used. All right. So you guys, this has been a pretty intensive review here, but a pretty good one, I think. I like this figure. And really, the only issue I have, like I said, I'm going to have to heat this up, but I think once I do, this will plug right into place. Uh, that is an eyesore and terrible. But otherwise, well, and the boots being incorrect is pretty annoying. Other than that, though, this is a great looking Batman figure. I like this base, very cool. And you can see we've got the pegs right here, so you can position him a couple of different ways on that base. And you're not even going to see. Oh, there we go. So it's going to sit pretty much like that once we get the figure together. I mean, that's you saw, in the box what it looked like. So just pretend that head is here. Let's do this. Let's just pop that head right back off, and and there you go. There's there's your year two Batman, sort of how he's going to look. You guys, thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, share. Tell your friends about the Needless Things YouTube channel and the Needless Things podcast, which is available each and every Friday, wherever you get your podcasts. And remember, I am vengeance. I am the night.
Smash that like button if you like Needless Things.